So this is the Nubia Z70 Ultra, and if you look closely, actually, no, you can't, because the selfie camera is completely invisible. It's hidden right under the display. I've been using this phone for about a month now, and honestly, it's one of those devices that constantly grabs attention. Every time I hand it to someone, the first thing they say is, "Wait, where's the camera?" Now, we've seen under-display cameras before, but let's be honest, they've never really been great. The quality was usually soft, a bit hazy, and just not something you'd actually want to use. But this time, Nubia says they've finally fixed it, so I wanted to see if this is just another flashy tech experiment, or if it's actually ready to compete with the iPhone 17 Pro Max and the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Let's start with the unboxing. The box itself feels quite premium, matte black with a subtle shine to it. Inside, you get the usual suspects. The phone, of course, a case, paperwork, SIM ejector, a USB-C cable, and an 80-watt fast charger, which I've gotta say is still a nice touch, considering most flagship boxes these days come looking half empty. And the phone itself, this black finish looks sleek. It's got that subtle matte texture that doesn't scream for attention, but quietly says, yeah, I'm expensive. And once you turn it on, wow. This is one of those displays that immediately makes you forget you're looking at a phone. It's a 6.85-inch AMOLED panel, 144Hz refresh rate, 1.5K resolution, 2000 nits peak brightness, and most importantly, no camera cutout. Nubia worked with BOE on this panel, and you can tell, it's just clean. Completely edge to edge. Scrolling feels ridiculously smooth, and watching videos on this thing, especially with that full screen look, feels almost cinematic. Honestly, this is one of the most immersive displays I've seen this year. Powering all of that is the Snapdragon 8 Elite chip, paired with up to 12 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage. I tried a few heavy games, PUBG, Call of Duty Mobile, Asphalt Legends, and it didn't flinch once. No frame drops, no lag, and what surprised me most was how cool it stayed. There's something really satisfying about playing on that massive screen with no interruptions. It's one of those phones that just feels fast, like everything you do happens instantly. But of course, the main reason you're probably here is that camera system, because Nubia's doing something very different here. The Z70 Ultra has a 50-megapixel main sensor with a 35mm lens, and this part's wild, an adjustable physical aperture. So you can literally change how much light hits the sensor, just like on a real camera. Then you've got a 64-megapixel telephoto and a 50-megapixel ultra-wide that also doubles as a macro. In daylight, the main sensor absolutely shines. The images look detailed, natural, and there's this slightly cinematic depth to them. That 35mm focal length gives it a professional vibe. When I compared it to the S25 Ultra, Samsung still wins on zoom and HDR, but Nubia's shots feel more organic, less processed. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is, as always, consistent, but Nubia gives you more creative control. It's almost like Apple gives you perfect shots out of the box, but Nubia lets you decide what perfect looks like. Inside, there's a 6,150 mAh battery, which is quite a lot considering how thin the phone is. It uses a silicon-carbon anode, which basically means it packs more energy into the same space, and it does make a difference. Even with heavy use, gaming, camera testing, video playback, I didn't need to charge it till the end of the day. And when I did, the 80-watt charger filled it up in just over half an hour. So, battery life? Genuinely solid. It's also built like a tank. IP68 and IP69 rated, so it's not just water and dust resistant, it's pressure resistant too. You also get Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4, NFC, and dual speakers that sound surprisingly full for a phone this slim. Now, something I didn't expect to enjoy as much, the AI features. Nubia's Nebula AI OS actually adds some useful tools. There's AI photo search, portrait enhancement, and one that genuinely surprised me, AI Translate. I tested it in real-world situations.
What did you do today? O que fizeste hoje?
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Obrigado. Muito prazer.
Translating from English to German, Chinese, and Portuguese. And it was fast and surprisingly accurate. You just highlight the text or speak into it, and boom, it translates instantly. The Z70 Ultra comes in 3 colors: black, yellow, and blue. But this black one, honestly, looks the most refined. It has a soft stardust matte texture that feels expensive without being slippery. And one of my favorite little touches, it has a physical shutter button. You half press to focus, full press to shoot, just like a proper camera. It's a tiny thing, but it makes using the camera so much more enjoyable. So, after using it for a while, here's my take. The Nubia Z70 Ultra isn't just about that invisible camera trick. It's a phone that actually delivers on the basics: great display, excellent performance, strong battery, and surprisingly capable cameras. The selfie camera under the screen still isn't quite at flagship level yet, but everything else feels polished, premium, and genuinely exciting. It's one of those rare phones that tries to be different and actually pulls it off. If you're bored of seeing the same slabs of glass from every brand, this might just be the breath of fresh air you've been waiting for.